Ayubowan, Mr. Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The island paradise Sri Lanka is in COVID crisis with increasing deaths by the hour. With a population of 20 million, just over 1 million have been vaccinated with the first dose, majority with AstraZeneca, and over 600,000 are stranded without the second dose. This is a desperate and urgent appeal. I am a dual Sri Lankan British citizen. I'm the daughter of former Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Ratnasiri Wikramanayake. I have lived most of my adult life in the UK, serving as an NHS GP for over 25 years. I was the physician to the British High Commission in Colombo. At the same time, my roots are deeply placed in the sunny Isle, where I continue to serve as a physician and a passionate human rights activist. One would accuse me of being privileged, but I use my privilege unashamedly, as did my role model, Eleanor Roosevelt, the mastermind of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, ratified and declared that every human being is born free and equal. It is from this platform that I appeal to you, Mr. Prime Minister. Although we were despondent at the start of the pandemic, you showed great leadership in becoming the first country in the world to commence immunization. I applaud my fellow key workers for the tremendous work they have done in concluding the first dose of the vaccine to over 50% of the eligible population of 60 million UK citizens. The pearl of the Indian Ocean was colonized by the British. 73 years after gaining independence, we have lost the luster of the pearl, and we are still a developing country. Sri Lanka is a member of the UN and the Commonwealth. I believe that if every immigrant worker of the NHS, majority of them from the former British colonies of African and Asian countries, were to return to their homelands to help with the COVID efforts, NHS would just collapse. I appeal to you to be a greater humanitarian in ending the war on patency on vaccines, allowing poorer nations such as Sri Lanka to avail of them freely and cheaply. In the meantime, with 60 million citizens in the UK, you require 120 million doses for the first cycle and 240 million doses for the next cycle next year. Please release the rest of the 500 million vaccines you have ordered. Be a true global statesman and encourage other Commonwealth countries such as Australia and the EU countries to release the millions of vaccines they have oversubscribed for the benefit of the poorer nations. You know that unless 80% of the world's population is vaccinated, we are all at risk in the long term. I may be branded as a traitor for this appeal, but I'm not embarrassed to plead for my people. I cannot watch my people die. Mr. Prime Minister, you have a greater moral obligation beyond the power-crazy geopolitics, beyond the greed of the richer countries to help us in a crisis. Your heart should beat to the pulse of my nation, my people. Throw us a lifeline, help us with the vaccines, but ensure and insist that the government of Sri Lanka follows your plan. Mr. Prime Minister, as much as I supported UK's endorsement of the UN resolution on Sri Lanka, I may be compelled to protest if you look away now and let my people die because you may be contributing to their deaths. Please help Sri Lanka now. Thank you.